Okay, let's unpack this. I mean, just picture it. Stepping onto a massive, roaring cricket stadium field for the first time. You've got blinding lights, this huge crowd buzzing, and you're about to face, a really seasoned pro bowler.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine doing that when you're just 14 years old. It honestly sounds like something straight out of a movie.
It absolutely does. And what's really fascinating here, as we've been digging into this, it's not just the age, though that's obviously incredible. It's where he comes from, the whole journey.
Right.
We're not talking about someone groomed in a top city academy from day one.
Yeah.
This is a phenomenon, really, from a small village in Bihar.
Exactly. And the name everyone's talking about is Vaibhav Suryavanshi. We've got, well, a whole stack of material here. Articles, reports, background stuff, all mapping his journey from this quiet village right into the intense spotlight of the IPL. So our mission, really, in this deep dive is to sift through all that noise, find the really significant insights about his incredible rise. What does his story tell us about talent? Sure, but also dedication and handling just immense pressure at an age when, let's face it, most kids are worried about homework.
Quite a story, packed with these amazing highs, but also, some real challenges, some genuinely surprising facts popped out at us. And we think there are lessons here that go way beyond cricket, whether you follow the sport closely or not.
Definitely. It makes you think about potential and opportunity and maybe the support systems behind these rising stars.
Absolutely.
So let's start at the beginning. Where did this all kick off? He was born March 27, 2011, Tajpur Village, Samastipur District, Bihar.
Right. And the picture we get of this place is, well, cricket is just everywhere. It's not just a sport. It's like part of the daily life there.
Yeah.
Deeply ingrained.
And his family's role sounds absolutely critical from the start. His father, Sanjeev Suryavanshi, a farmer, he saw the passion early on.
Yeah. And this wasn't just cheering from the sidelines. This was active nurturing. We found out his dad actually built a makeshift cricket pitch in their backyard.
Wow.
Think about that level of commitment, creating the space for the dream right there at home.
That's incredible. And then at age 9, he joined a local cricket academy in Samastipur. But this wasn't some, state-of-the-art facility.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
The descriptions we saw suggest the facilities were quite basic, which meant if Vaibhav was going to get the kind of training he needed, they had to do something extraordinary.
And extraordinary is putting it mildly. This is where the daily sacrifice just becomes almost unbelievable.
That daily commute, 90 kilometers, round trip.
Every single day.
Every day, just to get to Patna, to the Jennings Cricket Academy for proper training. I mean, it puts the usual school run into a bit of perspective, doesn't it?
Completely staggering. And it wasn't just the travel, right? We read about his mother waking up at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. to cook meals, to make sure he had the fuel for that schedule. It clearly wasn't just his dream. It was a whole family effort, a massive shared sacrifice.
The kind of family dedication, supporting a kid's dream like that, maybe with limited resources.
Yeah.
It really makes you pause.
It does. It raises that question, like what lengths would you go to for a dream? What kind of support does it really take?
And that foundation, that commitment, it started showing results pretty quickly, didn't it? He made his Ranji Trophy debut for Bihar. How old was he?
Just 12 years and 284 days old. This was back in January 2024.
12.
Yeah. And the Ranji Trophy, for context, that's India's top domestic first-class competition. Long matches, state teams. It's a serious stage.
And historically.
He became the second youngest player ever in the tournament. Only one player, Ali Muddin, way back in 1942, was younger.
Wow. Most 12-year-olds are.
Well, not doing that. Definitely not. And, okay, his first few innings weren't record-breaking 100 runs across 10 innings, but what people noticed, what stood out, was his composure. He just didn't seem fazed by it all.
But even before the big leagues, he made a huge mark locally in Bihar. There was this triple century.
Yeah. 300 runs.
Yeah.
In a single innings in a local tournament.
300.
That's a massive score. It's basically saying, I'm not just here to participate, I'm here to dominate.
Showed that aggressive intent was there early on.
And that ability to dominate, it carried over to the youth level for India pretty fast.
Yeah.
September 2024, he's 13, playing for India U19 against Australia in Chennai.
Yes. And this performance, this is what really got the scouts buzzing. He hit this incredible 104 off just 62 balls.
52 balls.
And got his century in only 58 balls, which was, historically fast. Fastest ever by an Indian in youth tests, second fastest overall.
Wow.
And he was facing older bowlers hitting the ball so hard, people were saying he sent it into orbit. That's confidence. That's power at 13.
He kept that form going too, right? In the U19 Asia Cup later that year.
He did. We saw scores like 76 off 46 against the UAE, and then a really important 67 off just 36 balls in the semifinal against Sri Lanka.
So clutch performances too. Exactly. It showed it wasn't a fluke. It showed he could handle pressure, different opponents, different formats. That's not just talent. That's a maturity you rarely see at that age.
All of which leads us to the next big step, November 2024, the IPL auction in Jeddah.
And he becomes, at 14, the youngest player ever shortlisted for the IPL auction.
Just being shortlisted is huge.
It is. And the auction itself, it's always this glitzy, high-pressure event. His base price was set at 30 lakh.
Which is already a lot for someone yet to play in the league.
Right. But that price didn't stay there long. A bidding war kicked off. Rajasthan Royals versus Delhi Capitals.
Both clearly saw something special.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the end, Rajasthan Royals got him for 1.1 crore.
1.1 crore, that's what, about $130,000 US?
Roughly, yeah. Think about that. $1 million contract before you can even legally drive. It's kind of mind-bending.
And this wasn't just a random gamble by Rajasthan?
No, not at all. They've been watching him closely. We learned they spotted him during trials at their high-performance center in Nagpur. Yeah, apparently their batting coach, Vikram Rathore, and the team director, Zubin Farrucha, were really impressed. It was a calculated move and investment based on spotting that raw potential.
So the scene is set, April 19, 2025. IPL debut time. Rajasthan Royals versus Lucknow Supergiants in Jaipur.
And his age on the day, 14 years and 23 days, making him officially the youngest player in IPL history. By a long shot, over 2 years younger than the previous record holder.
Incredible. He walks out to open with Yashasvi Jaiswal, facing Shardul Thakur, a seasoned international bowler. First ball in the IPL.
Yeah, a length ball outside off. Now, most debutants, especially that young, you'd expect them to maybe defend, maybe try to guide it for single, get off the mark, settle the nerves.
But that's not Vaibhav Suryavanshi, is it?
Not even close. He just flat batted it. Pure power. Straight back over extra cover for a massive 6.
First ball.
First ball. The crowd went absolutely wild. Commentators were stunned. Even Sanju Samson, the captain who was injured, was caught on camera just grinning ear to ear. What a statement.
He ended up scoring 34 off 20 balls, a good knock, but then as he walked off...
Yeah, the cameras caught this really poignant moment.
The tear in his eye.
Exactly. And apparently, it wasn't sadness about getting out. It was just the sheer emotion, the weight of the moment sinking in. You know, the kid from the backyard pitch in Bihar, suddenly there sharing a dressing room with global superstars, having just made history.
It's moments like that. Just raw human emotion mixed with unbelievable skill. What stands out to you about that particular image?
For me, it's that juxtaposition. The incredible, almost audacious performance, and then the vulnerability of a 14-year-old realizing the magnitude of it all. It's powerful.
And if that debut was historic, what happened just 9 days later?
Well, it almost defies description. April 28th, same venue, Jaipur against Gujarat Titans.
Oh, this was the one that just exploded everywhere. A century. In 35 balls.
35 balls. Let's just pause on that. 100 runs in 35 deliveries.
It's just blistering speed. It shattered records.
Yeah.
Youngest player ever in men's T20 cricket to score a century.
The second fastest century in all of IPL history. Only Chris Gale's 30-ball monster innings was faster.
Wow.
And importantly, the fastest ever by an Indian player in the IPL. Beat Yusuf Pathan's old record of 37 balls.
So what did the innings actually look like?
He finished 101 off 38 balls. Get this. 11 sixes and 7 fours.
11 sixes.
He took on everyone. Rashid Khan, arguably the best T20 spinner in the world. Ishant Sharma, Mohammad Siraj, established Indian pacers. Even a debutant, Kareem Janat. There was one over from Janat that just went for 30 runs. It was described as pure fireworks. 6, 4, 6, 4, 4, 6.
Unbelievable hitting. And the century itself...
Came up with a pulled 6 off Rashid Khan.
Off Rashid, that's saying something.
It really is. The stadium just erupted. We even read that Rahul Dravid, despite having a leg injury and being in a wheelchair, apparently leapt up.
Huh. You can imagine the excitement and the result.
Well, his knock anchored this huge 166-run opening stand with Jaiswal. He ended up chasing down 210 in just 15.5 overs.
That fast.
Yeah, the fastest successful chase of 200-plus in men's T20 history. He walked off to a massive standing ovation. And get this stat, 93% of his runs came just from boundaries.
That's insane efficiency. What was his reaction after all that?
Remarkably calm, actually. Just said something like, feels like a dream. Practice has paid off. but the praise poured in. Coach Rather talked about his great downswing, his power. Jaiswal called it one of the best innings he'd seen.
The legends weighed in.
Oh, yeah. Sachin Tendulkar tweeted about his fearless approach, bat speed, energy, and Yuvraj Singh, known for his own big hitting, basically tweeted, "What were you doing at 14?" You know, comparing facing world-class bowlers to typical teenage life. It really puts his achievement in perspective.
But cricket, sport, it's never just highs, is it? There's always the other side.
Absolutely, and it came quickly, just 3 days after that incredible century, May 1st, against Mumbai Indians.
We're happy.
He got out for a 2-ball duck.
A duck, 0 runs.
Yep. Caught by Will Jacks off Deepak Chahar.
Uh-huh.
And the contrast was immediate. The same crowd that was roaring days before fell silent. Social media, of course, lit up with crash back to earth kind of comments.
It really highlights that point people like Rahul Dravid made, right?
Yep.
About needing realism.
Mm.
That a teenager, even a prodigy, will have ups and downs.
Exactly. It's a tough lesson, but part of the game. Failure is inevitable, especially at that level.
But the key is how you respond, isn't it?
It is, and his response was telling. Fast forward just under 3 weeks, May 20th, against Chennai Super Kings. He plays a very different innings.
How so?
He scored 57, but off 33 balls. It was described as more mature, not just trying to blast everything.
Showing adaptability.
Precisely. A mix of caution when needed, aggression when the chance was there.
Right.
He built a crucial 98-run partnership with Sanju Samson, helped chase down 188. It helped Rajasthan end what had become a tough season on a much better note.
So bouncing back like that.
That's the real insight, perhaps. To go from that record century to the disappointment of a duck, and then come back and play a match-winning composed innings at 14, that shows incredible mental strength.
Yeah.
It makes you ask, how do we best support young talents, not just in the glory moments, but through those inevitable dips? His resilience is something many adults struggle with, frankly.
Now, with such a high-profile story, there was also some noise around his age, wasn't there? Briefly.
Yeah, briefly. An old interview from 2023 surfaced where he mentioned a different birth month, leading to some online speculation he might be a bit older than the official March 2011 date, maybe 18 months or so.
Okay. And the authorities got involved?
The BCCI, the Indian Cricket Board, looked into it.
And the outcome?
They confirmed his age is 14, citing documentation, and also these bone tests they apparently conducted.
Right. It's interesting how quickly that kind of speculation can bubble up around someone so young under that kind of intense scrutiny.
It is. But ultimately, whether it's 14 or 15, the core story remains his performance. What he did with the bat, the impact he had, that's undeniable. The runs were real. The records were real.
And he didn't get there alone, clearly. That support system we talked about earlier, the mentors.
Absolutely crucial. We saw names pop up consistently. Manish Oshha, his coach at Gen X Academy since he was 8.
Right, teaching balance,
Yes.
patience, advising him to watch Jaiswal's footwork. That's fascinating foresight, isn't it?
It really is. Then there was Saurabh Kumar, another coach. He apparently played a direct role in getting Vaibhav noticed by the IPL teams.
How so?
By sharing those video clips of his U19 century against Australia directly with the scouts. That apparently helped seal the deal for the contract.
Wow, connecting the dots.
Exactly. And even someone like Wasim Jaffer, the former India opener, spotted his talent back in 2023 and encouraged him to just play his natural, free-flowing game. It really does take a village, as they say.
So, looking ahead now, he's achieved so much, so young. What's next on the horizon for him?
Well, immediate plans seem to involve a high-performance camp in Bengaluru, and he's likely to be part of India's U19 squad for an upcoming tour of England.
And the longer-term view.
His childhood coach, Ocha, is pretty bullish, thinks he's destined for the main India T20 team. But you also have to balance that with perspective from seasoned observers like Stephen Fleming, who points out that sustainability is key for young players. Meaning that fearless aggression is amazing, it got him noticed, but long-term success usually involves developing more craft, learning to build an innings, adapting to different situations, maybe like Shubman Gill or Sai Sudarshan have done, balancing the power with, technique and game awareness.
So pulling it all together, what does the story really signify? It feels like his journey's just begun, but the path ahead involves more than just hitting boundaries. It's about evolution, managing huge expectations, and just navigating life under this intense spotlight.
I think Vaibhav Suryavanshi is more than just record-breaking player. He's become a symbol, hasn't he? A symbol of possibility. Coming from Bihar, which, let's be honest, hasn't traditionally been seen as a major pipeline for top cricketers.
Right.
He proves that exceptional talent can absolutely emerge from anywhere. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter about the initial facilities or the geography.
It really underlines that idea of the IPL being where talent meets opportunity, as Harsha Bogle says.
Yeah.
And Vaibhav didn't just meet it, he grabbed it with both hands.
And his personal story, the family sacrifice, the relentless drive against the odds that resonates widely. Okay, maybe not the 11-6's part for most
Yeah,
of us,
maybe not.
but the core dream-chasing element does.
And those moments on the field, that first ball six, the tears, the century, even the duck and the comeback,
Yeah.
they remind us why we watch sports, don't they? It's the human drama, the stories, not just the stats.
Exactly. And he offers this exciting glimpse into the future potential of Indian cricket. It's thrilling to see.
So, just to kind of wrap up this incredible journey we've tracked, from that backyard pitch in Bihar, driven by those unbelievable daily sacrifices, the 90-kilometer trips, the 2 a.m. wake-up calls from his mom,
Mm-hmm.
to making history in the Ranji Trophy and IPL, hitting that mind-blowing century, but also facing the immediate lows like that duck and showing the resilience to bounce back, all before turning 15.
He's truly a phenomenon, a
Yeah.
real breath of fresh air. His story, going from that small village to facing the world's best bowlers, it's just a powerful example of dreaming big and, crucially, putting in the immense, often unseen hard work.
Yeah. And it's a reminder that talent can blossom anywhere, but it almost always needs that incredible support network working behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
So maybe here's a final thought to leave you with as you go about your day. Vaibhav's journey, it isn't just about one amazing young cricketer. It really shows us that sometimes the greatest potential lies hidden in the most unexpected places. And unlocking it demands enormous sacrifice, not just from the individual, but from everyone supporting them. What does his story make us think about how we identify, how we nurture, and how we genuinely support extraordinary talent when we find it at any age, in any field? Something to ponder.